Thank you for joining us today. It's another episode 4 of the Blacksmith and the Tech Guy podcast. We've got a lot of cool stuff today. I'm excited to share with you. My name is Will. I am a full-time blacksmith and an Abana level 1 instructor. So full-time, I'm very blessed to be able to blacksmith for a living, create stuff out of iron, and show new people how to blacksmith as well. Stab the Tech Guy, and let you introduce yourself.
I do tech stuff. Mostly. Sometimes I'm good at it.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm not.
Yep. Awesome.
I also do it professionally, sadly.
Yeah, it's good.
No, it's good.
I come to him when my computer's broken. Yeah.
And I break it.
Hammer doesn't fix it.
You only need one good whack.
Yeah, that's it. So we've got some cool stuff, music. Tab's got some new upcoming bands he'd like to show me. I don't know if you've never had an experience with YouTube and you're trying to review or talk about music, they just really rake you over the coals if you even breathe a band that's semi. So we're going to kind of shy away from that. It's been more trouble than it's worth. So we love music. We still want to bring you some information about music and new. So we're gonna concentrate on the good people that aren't getting eyeballs that should be.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna try to do more of the indie or self-promoting bands, things like that. Who we're not gonna get smacked by Columbia Records in the mouth
constantly
30 times a day for
Right.
no reason. For talking about something.
Yep. Got some awesome stuff in gaming. We're going to do probably Ubisoft. I know I'm sick of Ubisoft, but that's kind of what's going on. We've got some awesome updates for Path of Exile 2, which is an awesome game. We'll get more into depth there. Politics, trades. We've got a continuing from last week. We've got a final decision on the new toolbox upgrade for Tab, so he's going to go through that with us, and plus a couple of cool tools that are kind of new and kind of go through and see.
Yeah, and a cool video on what happens when you do bad things to a diesel engine.
Yeah,
so that'll be
fun.
pretty cool.
Yes,
and we're going to do a showdown today.
Nice.
Chat GPT and Grok showdown.
I forgot. So we've had some discussions with some people. Personally, I prefer Grok. Some people prefer Chat GPT.
Not me.
In me neither. But in my personal experience, I've had Chat GPT be wrong before. And if I wasn't cross-checking what they said, then it would have put me in a bad spot. So that's why I still check them, because you have to, because you never know what you're getting is real or not. But I have yet to find Grok give me wrong information. So that's where I kind of lean towards. So, yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so I'll throw it on over to Tab and we'll get started here.
All right. We're going to jump into some music. So we got a couple things in music.
Okay.
We have, I don't really know how to say this band's name. I believe it's Micah Aris.
Okay.
Okay. So
that's the way I would say it.
Okay. Yeah.
Micah Aris.
Micah Aris.
Okay.
Now, I have no idea I didn't know who this band was, but I happen to be actually looking at one of your videos on Instagram. So I reinstalled Instagram so I could, give you likes.
Yeah.
And,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And, see, pictures of my nephew, I guess, because my mom was bugging me about it as well.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, well, you know what, I'm just going to install it. And I happen to see a short on there that I found on YouTube, so I don't have to go back to Instagram. Thank goodness.
Cool.
So this is what caught my attention, and then we'll play the song that it's from.
Studio recording gone wrong is the text there. So
okay, we're ready to roll.
Let's take a look.
They're like, what? I was like, that scream was pretty excellent.
That sounds good.
So when I saw that, I was like, who's that band? So on Instagram, of course, in the comments, somebody was like, oh, this is Micah Rice or Riss or whatever they're called. Okay. Correct me, please. Or
maybe that's just his name, not the whole band. Is that just
his name is Chandler Burton.
Oh, interesting.
So
cool.
And so he's featuring in this song, but he does a lot of songs with them. So he does several songs with them that I found now. So I don't know if he's a mainstay in the band or not. But he should be. If not,
well, check him out, Micah Aris. Check him out. They got a YouTube video and they're on Instagram as well. So check them out, and if you like what you hear.
Yeah, we'll play. Looks like it's Obliterate.
Name of the song.
Featuring Chandler Burton.
Cool.
So
let's hear it.
Let's roll.
Warning.
pretty good. Okay.
Yeah,
Good start so far.
Okay, so before he started singing right there, that reminded me of Linkin Park a little bit when he came in.
Oh, yeah, right.
But it kind of felt like, maybe we'll do one of their songs one time, but it kind of felt like a Snot a little bit to me in there.
No, nobody knows who Snot is.
I know. So then we'll have to do one of the songs.
We'll have to do
one of their songs one time.
We're going to get Columbia is going
I don't think so.
beat us over the head with it.
Yeah, I don't think with
they
Snot.
signed it. Anyway,
yeah, but it's like they're like way out now.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. We have to look into that.
Yeah.
But even if we play a little, it won't matter.
Just quick, so if you don't know what we're talking about, Snot was an awesome band that was just about ready to hit like mega status. Like they were one of those super young bands that new metal. And this was late 90s, mid 90s, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
But they were a local band, and they were
mid to late 90s.
Man, they sounded good, and they were getting ready to go places. And lead singer didn't buckle his seatbelt on the highway.
Yeah,
and then that put
Lynn
into
Strait
that.
was his name.
Yeah.
They were they were a Santa Barbara band.
Yeah.
And him and his dog, Dobbs, I believe his name was, died in the crash. And his dog's on the cover of their only album, and which I believe is self-titled Snot. And
a lot of good songs. Oh yeah, it's a good album.
It's a great album.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Okay, let's jump back in.
Yep.
Doesn't have a bad voice though. No. Yeah, that's awesome. Whatever he has going on right there, I don't know what that is.
Some type of effect of some kind.
That's pretty amazing because it drops right with the bass.
Is it if I had to guess, maybe chorus turned down to a low delay?
I don't know. Maybe there's a delay on
that's
there.
What it sounds like.
Something's happening.
It's like
falling off a cliff.
It's right. It's a chorus that's stretched out, and you're only getting the. That's what I would guess, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the contrast.
Contrast is nice.
Oh yeah, it's definitely reminds me of Linkin Park a little bit. I may be too old for the strobe lights.
Yeah,
I might be too old.
Doesn't bug me. I'm trying to absorb it all because I want to give them a proper, my opinion, right? I want to give them, I want to be fair about this, So we'll get there, but I don't want to say too much until we get to the song because I don't want to, I want to absorb the whole thing before I pass judgment.
For sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to run it back real quick.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
It sounded like Taking Back the Life that you... Did you catch that?
Mm-mm.
He's like, I'm letting the sunlight,
chorus. I've heard
the
it.
sunlight again, in again.
Right.
I'm taking back the life that I didn't catch it.
Mm.
I'm going to run it back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Dang.
All
I'm taking back the life you obliterate.
Oh,
that's
gotcha.
what it is.
Right. Yeah,
okay. So he's ready to let the sunlight in.
Yeah,
he's taking back
about,
the life that you obliterate.
Yeah, he's talking about getting over a girl.
I don't know what it's about, but it might be about a girl.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Yeah, well, it seems like a lot of singers, as we know, are getting over girls. There's been many albums written about girls.
Many.
Yeah, like all of them.
Yeah.
All right,
let's go.
That's a nice breakdown. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude's got he's got a lot of dynamic in his screams.
Yeah.
Got a good voice too.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I like that. I would listen to more of the album.
Not too bad. So, goods and bads, right? So, you want to start with what your grade is, 1 to 10, what you would rate the band, and then positives and negatives?
So I would say this song.
Okay. That's fair.
Just because
right.
I don't know. Who knows what their other songs sound like. So I don't.
Just judging on this song,
and I only, to be fair, I only listened to about 25 seconds of the song before I decided to pick it. So I want to make sure this is the first time I listen to it. Right. I would say that I'd probably give it, if I had to rate it 1 to 10, I would say a solid 7.
Yeah.
I think that there's room to improve there, but the dynamic is excellent.
Yeah.
I can see the dynamic between the two singers. It seems really natural, especially if this guy is featuring, if they haven't been together a long time or whatever. It just seems like they have.
Right.
So it feels very natural to me. It looks like they have a making of.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I would say a solid 7.
Yeah.
I think that's even being a little maybe harsh.
And it's funny you say that because I was going to say 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 would be
7.5
really good. But now, to be fair, I would give Linkin Park, for instance, like a 5. So
you're just going to get us run over on chat.
I'm just saying. That's just me. I'd give Tool like 2.5.
So a like. So likes and dislikes. What's a couple things you liked and disliked about them?
I wanted a little bit more lyrics in the verse for me. Now, I really like the sound. I think they have an excellent sound.
Right.
Like I said, I like the dynamic a lot. I like the chorus. I think it was good. The breakdowns were good. The transitions sounded really good too.
Right.
And I don't know how many. I didn't count them. It seemed like there was about 4 transitions in there that were done pretty well. So very well.
Right.
Because it felt natural. Right. I didn't feel like I was like, oh, what happened? Right.
Right.
So vocally, I think that his pitch is good. It's on. I didn't hear anything off there.
No.
Both guys, I was surprised at Chandler's voice when he sang for just a second there. That actually surprised me because he's got a really clean voice too.
Yeah.
So that dirty and clean mix, I don't always like it. A lot of times I like a lot of grit in all of my vocals, right?
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, I agree.
But I do. I liked his voice, and I'd like to hear more of it.
Cool. For me, the way I would kind of describe it is they are a technically clean band, right? So they are very technical. Their transitions are on point. I like when they changed beats. They did it all cleanly, right? Everything, and it was nice transitions. There's nothing that felt off. So that was a positive. the Chandler's vocals, I thought spot on, man. That sounded great. Those are definitely positives. If I had to critique anything, my two biggest things that I didn't like was, or I shouldn't say didn't like, that I would like more of, right? I think the band was too technical. A lot of the riffs and stuff were kind of bland, I think. But when they changed, they were good. I think if they got a little more technical, spazzed it up a little bit, I didn't even really hear the bass at all, you know.
It would be nice to hear them live.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like to hear, I wonder if they have any live videos that they've done, because when you're talking about that, right, like in the studio, they really cream you with, like, you know, you're going to, hey, here's the metronome, how many beats per minute is the song going to be? And it really takes some of the soul out of it.
Soul out of music. And that could be what it is.
Yeah.
My second thing, which was the biggest kind of it, I wasn't a big fan of the lead singer. I
knew you wouldn't be.
Yeah. And there, you know, and it's nothing like, the lyrics are pretty good. It's not my cup of tea, like the sound of his voice, right? And his style of vocals. Not that I'm not against singing, right? Like, hard songs are good. Well, you know me, like good old, you know.
They love Celine Dion. It's like his favorite, especially because she's Canadian.
Usually where I hang my hat is like Southern rock, you know, anywhere. I mean, there's lots of it there, right? Anything outlaw country, Southern rock,
Adele,
rock and roll, you know.
That was a joke.
You know, of course. You know. So I do enjoy tone in my singing. And for me, it was very monotone, same tone.
It was pretty level, same
pitch. There was no like vocal talent that I saw there, and it sounded very electric, very machine sounding voice. And the kind of that, you know, that pitch. And Linkin Park, like, say, I'm not the biggest fan of Linkin Park, but like he did it like better. Like we've had Linkin Park, he did it better, and he was obviously like a Linkin Park, like maybe not groupie or clone, but like he definitely took, you know, inspiration from that, whether he did or not.
I mean,
you know,
I think, yeah, I mean, well, you probably weren't honestly into as much of the, like, I liked some of the rapcore stuff. I liked a lot of it. Head PE, you know, I liked Head PE a lot. And I liked, you know, Limp Bizkit, their first album, their second album, I didn't really, they were still all right, but I liked some of because I liked hip hop a lot. So I did like some of that in there. Right. I don't know why Linkin Park didn't resonate with me, but it just didn't. They were a studio band at first. That could be why. I have like an issue with that sometimes. I don't know why. No. That's why, like, I love Nirvana, right? Because, like, they,
right,
like, you know, probably would have sucked as a studio band.
Right.
But anyway,
but you know they would have.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying though. I felt like his vocal was clean, but it was safe. Yeah.
Yeah, safe and too clean. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it is more my cup of tea, I would say. It's whereas I know Chandler's your cup of tea. And I love Sepultura and, like, you know, right. Pantera. And I mean, I love that style of vocal. I absolutely love it. Metalcore.
Right.
So I love it too, but I do like the mix and match quite a bit. So, but you gave them 7.5. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so, no, I mean,
I'm real rough on it. I can't think of a 10 off the top of my head. I can't think of a 10.
A 10 band?
Yeah. Like right now, I know that there is some.
No,
right?
I'm trying
I would say that Steven Wilson to me right now is a 10.
Okay.
And he might be just about it. I'd say, you know, that's a totally different genre of music, obviously. And I don't really care about genres. It's about how the music resonates with me.
Absolutely.
That's regardless of genre.
And that's why this thing, for me, that's where its weakness was. It was electronically sterile. Right. And that's the way I felt about it, you know. And it's not horrible. Like, if I was driving down the road and this came on the radio, I probably, you know, it would just be on the radio. I don't know, but
I would say Chandler's vocal is what caught my attention, as you can
see. He's definitely the standout for sure. By far, he stood out. Yep, absolutely.
But I do enjoy the dynamic, and I could hear that. I don't even know the other singer's name, but I could hear that when he started to let loose a little bit, there's something in there.
Yeah.
Too. So,
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little more of that.
Maybe check them out live and see what happened. We'll see.
Maybe we'll see another video from these guys, try to get a better handle on it. Maybe they have some older stuff too to listen to or something that we can find. I think this is relatively new. Looks like a month ago.
Yeah.
So, well, they got a lot of views, huh?
Yeah.
But not a whole lot of subs. So that's why, anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, worth looking.
Yeah, check them out.
Yep.
Okay,
right.
So what else do we have? I was going to talk about the Jim Morrison deal.
Staying in the music vein, kind of,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, interesting.
So there's a documentary that came out. It is called, Before the End.
I regard it with about Jim Morrison and his death, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before the End, searching for Jim Morrison. I spelled documentary wrong because I can't type. I still spelled it wrong. I even fixed it. Grok. Documentary. Yes. It seems like you're referring to exactly what you typed, kind of.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, what was it about?
Right.
Anyway, so I already kind of know what it's about.
Right.
So what it's about is, I haven't seen it yet. So next week or the week after, when I do see it, I'm going to, I'll kind of give a review of it.
No.
But it's basically about, it's a super fan of the Doors who did a documentary, and his theory in the documentary is apparently, I didn't know this, but a theory that was common is that Jim Morrison's not dead.
Okay. Well, I've heard that before.
Okay,
but
I hadn't. And I don't know how, but I hadn't heard that.
But the reason why that's something, when I hear that, my brain instantly turns off, because that's a conspiracy theory about Michael Jackson's not dead, and Tupac's not dead, and Jimi Hendrix is not dead, and Elvis is not dead.
However, with Jim Morrison, so he died in Paris.
Okay.
By the way, they don't do autopsy in Paris for natural deaths. So
sorry. Do you know who nobody ever says is not dead?
Kurt Cobain
is John Lennon.
Yes.
I've never heard a conspiracy theory like everyody knows he's dead.
Yeah, everybody knows he's dead. Kurt Cobain too.
Cobain too.
We were just talking about Nirvana. That popped in my head.
Right. Yep.
So anyway, yes.
Courtney Love did it.
So probably. But you know what?
Allegedly.
But he wouldn't have wanted her to be tried for it. So I'm okay with that, because if the same thing happened to me, I wouldn't want my wife to be tried.
Ooh.
That sounds crazy, but it's true.
I get it.
I'm not here anymore. Who cares? Whatever. Move on.
Right.
Anyway. So yes. So the documentary, it's basically, so he was found dead in the bathtub.
Okay.
They believe that he had a heart attack.
Okay.
Well, they believed actually he had
overdose,
alcohol poisoning.
Okay. Right.
But the medical record said heart attack.
Okay.
However, he was buried in like a day and a half in a closed casket, and there's not a single picture of his body.
That's weird. You shouldn't do a closed casket.
Yeah, this is odd, right? And he was buried in a very random cemetery, very close to the area.
Interesting.
Now,
just hurried to get him in the ground.
Yes, and in Paris they don't do. In France, they didn't do autopsies for what they consider natural death. I don't know how alcohol poisoning is considered natural, but okay, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's the 70s. But the person whose house he died in, the apartment or flat, whatever they call it there,
right?
Her story changed several times about finding him and how she found him and how he died, until she died. And then a bunch of people that were involved with it, same thing. They all had inconsistent stories. So he had also, in 71, said he was tired of the fame and he really wanted to get away.
Wanted to move away.
That's when he died, 71, right? And he talked about writers who had either completely left the scene, because he talked about basically getting away from music and just being a poet.
Right.
And not being a part of fame anymore at all. And he talked about how there was people that he envied that had faked their deaths.
Right.
So that's why, and in this documentary, apparently, supposedly, the director found him in Syracuse, New York. He called him Frank.
Interesting.
And he said he showed a picture of Frank to two of Jim Morrison's ex-girlfriends, and they burst into tears right away. So it'll be interesting to watch the documentary. Yeah. It's probably crazy.
Well, I can't wait to hear your review of it when you watch it.
But it should be fun. Yeah, it should be a fun watch. So,
yeah, it should be great. All right.
What do you guys think?
Awesome.
You think Jim Morrison's still alive?
Yeah.
He'd be 81 years old, I guess.
Or Elvis, or Tupac, or, Kurt Cobain. You think he's still alive? Put it down in the comments, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So on from there, we're going to go to gaming because there's a lot going on there.
Okay.
Where do we go from here? Assassins. We can go Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed.
Let's take a quick look just
Shadows.
to see where we're sitting, huh?
It's
oh wait, I don't see it on here anymore.
Yeah, it's not because it's fallen off the page.
Gosh, I have to type it. Assassins.
From what I've kind of seen, Ubisoft's been in a lot of trouble for a while. They haven't had really a breakout game, and they're really they're such a huge studio, they need to have home runs, right? I think last time.
Well, they haven't had one for a while.
Well, they haven't, and it was probably 2000 or before since, so it's been a while, right?
Let's find out. Let's ask Grok.
Yeah.
Or where'd Grok go? Grok went bye-bye. Grok left. He's tired of us. Grok's tired.
But, I think what I heard at one estimate that it was 21,000 people employed at Ubisoft total. That's insane to think about. 21,000 people.
Oh, dang it.
I
hit a space there. Last big hit.
Commercial success was Valhalla.
Oh,
okay.
Valhalla.
So 2020. So it's been 5 years. Yeah.
$1 billion in revenue.
Right.
They don't even make what I make. That's crazy.
Yeah, and there were some really, but the thing is Ubisoft's had whatever.
More recently, we've been told by our lords to say this, has shown early signs of strong player engagement, reportedly reaching 1 million active players on launch day.
So
I don't know about the strong player engagement part, but I'm just saying.
From people who have dug down
it's true
and tried to check it out, as far as they can tell, being generous on Ubisoft's side, they say it's probably sold somewhere around 1 million copies, which is nothing to scoff at. However, that's just not good enough, especially when they've had oh yeah, well, that's the other part I was getting to, and it's not good enough for a company that's big. You need to be knocking out of the park $1 billion after $1 billion, giant video games. It's just not 1 million sold, and then I think the other day I saw they said 2 million active players, but that doesn't really tell you anything. Now what they've done, because they knew this was not going to be a financial success, and that's the thing, they knew this game wasn't going to be great, so they had all of this set up ahead of time, right? So March 28th, Ubisoft set up a subsidiary company and moved 3 of their most successful IPs there. So
what do you mean? Assassin's Creed, Far Cry,
Creed.
Rainbow Six are successful. They're most successful franchises. Oh
right.
my gosh.
Well, 3 of their biggest
I'm just kidding.
names.
They are 100%.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
And then so Tencent now owns 25%. And from what I understand is they are also able to move on with using the IPs. Right.
I would like to. This is subsidiary valued at $4 billion. Remains 100% owned. I'd like to know. Okay, minority stake, 100% owned. 25% stake, 100% owned. Grok.
So
how does that work?
Is true. That is true because they didn't actually move ownership to the subsidiary company.
I got you. Okay.
They just leased the
minority
IP.
Investor.
Right. So they're Tencent is a minority investor in the new company, right? And Ubisoft has leased exclusive rights to that new company. Does that make sense? So Ubisoft is 100% still owners of those IPs. It's just they can't do anything with them because they've leased them to this new company. And what it is they're buying time. They're in trouble financially. So they're temporarily hoping to sell off
to China
temporary usage to China to raise temporary income, which I think it was over $1 billion.
You're right to question that. Of course I am. My previous response could have been clearer. Tencent is indeed a part owner of the new subsidiary.
Right.
But here, sir, you said it wasn't.
He's right, but he should have gone into more detail.
Well, he's not though. Right. 25% minority stake
This subsidiary was valued.
is a new entity. This subsidiary valued at $4 billion remains 100% owned. No, 25% owned.
Oh, gotcha.
And then right here they clear that up. But it's interesting that the default is.
So there's
Grok's
first mistake I've ever had right there.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the first stake. No, it's not. Remember when we were doing the Jackie Kennedy? They kept telling us, no, there's something there. No, there's something there. Right. Was nothing there.
There was nothing. The link was there, but nothing was on the link.
Correct. Which, I mean, that's, I guess, they were, the
website was telling Grok, like, the information's here. And then Grok couldn't actually look at the website to see if the link was there. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So that's correct. So anyway, that's, Ubisoft is buying time, trying to keep the doors open until they can figure out how to fix it. If they don't, they'll probably continue to be nibbled away by Tencent. If they don't, that's my guess, is they'll probably go from 25 to 50%. And then, I doubt Ubisoft, the family that owns Ubisoft, and I don't remember the name, but they are dead set. Guillemot family. Yeah, it's French. Right? Yeah, it's French.
I'm almost mad at myself. I said it right. Now that I know it's French.
The Guillemot family who owns Ubisoft are dead set on keeping control of everything. Right. Yeah. They don't want to give up any control. So this was
safeguard their independence.
Right. So problem is if they don't figure it out, there was a leaked email, something of that nature. I was checking in something about from the owner, was kind of warning people that they're going to start, heads are going to roll. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope they figure it out. I never want to see people lose their jobs. I never want to see companies go out of business, but if that's what has to happen, so be it. They, they're in control of their own destiny. So either they make games people want to buy, or sure, Grok, why didn't you?
This is it already knows I typed it, so I have to hit enter.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, you're
no motive to deceive you, just a slip in precision.
Don't poke the AI, man.
I'm built to give accurate answers, but I'm not flawless. Why are you not flawless?
10 years from now, you're gonna have a robot knocking on your door.
I'm gonna regret that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give thumbs up, Grok, just because. Okay.
All right.
I focused too much on Ubisoft's control aspect and didn't clearly acknowledge Tencent's ownership stake up front, which muddied the explanation. It's not intentional, just me juggling a lot of data and occasionally dropping a ball.
Yeah, okay.
I'm here to sort it out when I miss. What else can I help you with?
That's it. So I guess that's pretty much it. You're going to make nice now.
Nation. I don't usually use this keyboard, so.
Yeah, that's it with Ubisoft.
More thumbs up. No, really, I don't want you to hurt me.
Yeah. Too late. You already made it mad.
Dang it.
So that's it for Ubisoft for now. Assassin's Creed Shadows is done. We probably won't talk about it anymore. It's
either we'll
it's on the
half
dustbin
of the people
history.
who started playing it. We won't talk about it anymore either. And then I'm sure in a couple of weeks that'll be halved.
Right.
Because that's how it goes.
I'm done with talking about it. And Ubisoft too. We'll see. Next bit of game yesterday.
Shoot, they got more than PoE 2.
Yeah, well, PoE
2 is 3 months old.
The new update isn't out until April 4th. It's early release, right? And they didn't have there's 3 acts in the game. They didn't have a fleshed out end game yet. Yeah. So although I listened to something earlier in regards to things they're bringing to the game, and I played the game. I didn't get all the way, and I played it.
Loved it.
I got through Act 1, 2, and 3 originally, and then I got through Act 1, 2, 3, and then I didn't finish 3 the second time through, because you have to go through 3 times before you can get the end game.
Right.
I don't have time.
And they didn't have that built out anyway, right?
Yeah, and it's only...
There's supposed to be 5 acts total, right? Eventually?
Well, originally when they talked about it, they said they wanted 6.
Oh,
but early into development, they said, hey guys, we'd rather, give you 3 incredible acts, but... Yeah, or we'd rather give you 6, or we'd rather give you 3 great ones instead of 6 okay ones, which I'm okay with. And actually, you know what? I love the game.
Me too. It's a very good game.
It's a very good game.
Super fun.
There's a lot of stuff to dip into. Right. But
it's awesome.
What they added has me pretty excited to go back and play.
I'm sure I'll go back when they wipe servers because, well, they're not going to wipe servers, right? They're going to hold this and then launch the launch server. I'll play again as soon as that happens for sure, because then it'll be like a real game at that point.
Yep. So some of the highlights, the biggest new class that they're adding is called a Huntress, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. It's a mid-range, close-range kind of fighter. So it has a little bit of a druid flair to it, right?
I wonder if we can pull it
up. From what I saw was the main kind of staple that the attack was set around was jumping in and out of combat and then using a whirlwind with your spear, right?
Okay.
Now, depending on how you spec, depending on what you want to do, and depending on the environment around you, you can change your whirlwind based on what's going on around you. So I think the video that I saw that they did on the official release was, the character jumped in, started swinging, started the whirlwind, and then something lit on fire close by, so the whirlwind sucked up the flame and it became a flame whirlwind. Then she jumped out of the whirlwind, left the mobs there, and it exploded, did damage. So it's very much of a bouncy kind of class. But they added a lot more customization. They added
new ascendancies are here.
New ascendancies. So if you're not familiar with the game, you have your base class that you start with that kind of gives you the ropes of how to play the character, and then once you get in so long, you can start branching down these specialties. I played Mercenary, which is a crossbow based. Think. What was the name of that movie? Van Helsing. That's what I'm thinking of. So it's kind of like Van Helsing, right? That's the name, the kind of way that the character that I played works. But you can go. There's gems you can use to upgrade stuff. So you can choose to go down like that treasure hunter route where you're changing your gems and you're specializing in specialization. If that makes sense, you can really do some fun things with gems, add extra gems, add different effects to gems. So really about a maximum customization class. Then there's the Witch Hunter, which I chose, which was more undead, killing undead, that kind of stuff,
right.
Which I liked. They're adding to that class, they're adding a Tactician, which sounds pretty awesome. It's got more of calling in from outside, like picture if you're... like the animation they showed was you come in and you're calling like rains of arrows and you're pointing, like instead of it just being you, you're actually directing armies that are off screen, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. And then you also get to add
wartime composer.
Right. And then you get to add bonuses to the people you're playing with, which is, kind of interesting as well.
And I played a witch.
Yeah.
Now, generally speaking, I play warriors in most games because I love warriors. But it was like, if you want to play a warrior in PoE2 when it first launched, you should just...
It was rough.
Well, you can look at, what's his name? Microtransaction on YouTube.
Right.
And he's done it.
Yeah.
But it was rough, yeah.
There's people that did it.
Yeah. And it's not easy. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time for not easy, so I'm just going to do easy, which was the witch. It was very fun.
The Smith of Kativa, I saw a little bit of it. That's the ascendancy class for the warrior.
Yeah.
Now, it's... a maximum
create stuff and break it with it.
Yeah, you can create stuff, you can break it down, use it to upgrade new classes. You're kind of like this Blacksmith storyline.
Which is, I don't know why you're not playing that, but
you
whatever.
can right, eventually maybe. We'll see. One of the other bonuses to that ascendancy was you can actually create a weapon and then have it float around you and help attack enemies around you. Is kind of like
that's pretty cool.
An enemy. And then you can also do temporary buffs at anvils that are in the area, so you can infuse them with certain kind of things like mid-battle, that kind of stuff, which looked fun. And then you also have access to things in the weapons that other classes don't have, so you can like superpower your weapons and that kind of stuff. The one thing I did notice, which I thought was a pretty cool idea, it depends on how it works out and how it plays in real life. So in one of the trees that you could go down, it actually prevented you from equipping any armor on your body, and you actually created your armor through your class or through your tree, so you get to kind of more specialize and upgrade armor in these particular you can probably, for somebody who's like a min-maxer, it's probably somebody who would like to do that kind of class. So
in the Lich, I've seen that. They've been talking about that for a while now.
Right, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. We do have a video. I grabbed the video.
Oh, did you? Okay. Well, let's take a look.
If you want to look at
the
it.
Huntress? Yeah.
It's from IGN. So,
nice.
They'll give it a 10 like they do everything. So, no, I'm just kidding. They won't do that to Path of Exile.
They'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
All right.
We as Mary are guided by the Spirit. It provides prey, shelter, even love. But for me, one day, all that were changed.
There we go.
Yeah, it looks good.
Got good.
The Spirit, it showed me something. Something forbidden. And to defend all I loved, I used it.
No.
I lost everything that day.
This is the Huntress class, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. The new class.
But fate weren't finished with me yet.
And this is just a base level class. It specializes from there. There was a lot of cool stuff showed.
I'll right the wrongs I've done.
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
I'll do what I must. No matter the cost.
Uh-oh, buddy.
Ooh, goodbye.
I will hear the Spirit once more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you throw the spear, jump to the spear, jump out of combat, jump into combat, right? See that?
Oh, yeah, that was
pretty clean.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Oh, that's one of the subclasses. So, there we go. Pause it real quick. So, that's one of the subclasses I forgot. I was trying to get into. So it's animalistic. So you can kill any mob in the game. Once you kill it, you can absorb traits from it. So whatever you want to choose, whatever you want to change, and however you want to go, you can add bonus to yourself based on the available mobs on the screen, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's real cool.
Got a mount?
Yeah, that's right.
They explained the mechanic, which was interesting.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's a different ascendancy class.
Yeah.
It's more like druid. Yeah, that's the more druidy class.
I shall bathe in your
blood. So they showed a tiny little sneak peek of that. Did you see how that guy used the warrior ability with the hammer? So when you're in game,
It's almost like a judgment.
It is, and it's one of the major like super abilities for warriors, right? However, they've added, I think it's 10, basically player killers that are CPUs that use any item available in the game, any weapon available in the game, but are controlled by the computer.
Okay.
And if you kill it, you get what they have on them.
Oh, nice.
So, but like it's not going to be easy,
right?
And if they kill you, they're going to take some shit and go.
Yeah.
So, so it's a chance, right? So they're going to kill you, hop in their portal, and leave.
Yeah.
So I like that idea. Like it's you don't want to. You can probably run.
Yeah. You never know, right?
But yeah, give them a chance.
Painful.
But yeah, they're greatly expanding uniques. They were talking about. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, it's big reward, but
big risk.
Big risk.
Yeah. So they really talked about expanding uniques because they want them to become more useful, right? The skill gems, a lot more customization. It's really cool. So, all right, I'm gonna start up again. Yeah. There's the blacksmith.
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll let it finish. They put some work into that.
Yeah. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a great game. If you haven't played it, you should check it out.
It's worth them, jumping in.
And the studio, they really, really pay attention, and they're very transparent when something's going on, which is quite nice.
So they did an hour Q&A today right? And I didn't get to listen to all of it, but the first 30 minutes of Q&A was addressing stuff that people had talked about in the game, and it was all quality of life.
They're always on. They always have been. It's grinding gear games.
Right.
They always have been like that. They've always been on it, and I really appreciate that. Of course,
absolutely.
They're also owned partly by Intention.
Yeah,
but who's not?
90% owned by Tencent.
But they let them operate as their own. So I mean,
that's it, right? Hey,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's it. So I'm really excited to see, and when I get a chance to get my hands on these updates, I will talk about it.
Yeah,
and see what
let us know. I mean, I don't know if I'll jump in until they wipe later this year.
They go full
I've got
launch.
like 10 hours of Monster Hunter. I still got to get to playing that. It's terrible. So.
Man, and they got an update coming from Monster Hunter
I know.
too. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did.
That's another like
great game.
Yeah, another great game, man. I tell you what,
a lot of fun
between those two. Monster Hunter's got a huge update that's coming soon. New monsters, gathering hub, all kinds of seasonal quests, and all kinds of quality stuff.
Someday I'll get to play again.
And that's a funny thing is I get time to play from 9 o'clock when I get the kids to bed until I pass out, and then I usually pay for it the next day. So I try to keep myself to 2 hours, but if I'm into something, sometimes it can go a little further than that,
Yeah.
But man, I pay for it the next day.
Well,
It's
we've been watching. We watched Shogun. So that's like, if we're watching something, then I know. And by the way, if you haven't watched Shogun, you should watch it. It's
good show.
It's probably one of the best shows I've seen in quite some time.
Huh.
It's a very good show.
Nice.
I thought there was more seasons, and when the last episode hit for the first season, and I was like, it was going to like some other show that I'm never going to watch,
Right.
I'm like, what happened? And I went back and looked. I'm like, there's one season. And my daughter told me there was 3.
Oh.
But what it is it's written for 3.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was very disappointed. And then I'm like, it's got to be coming out soon, right? Nope, next year.
Next year, yeah.
So anyway, Joe Rogan is what I heard that on.
Oh, okay.
He was like, yeah, dude, I can't miss an episode. I have to watch it, So
nice.
Anyway.
Very cool.
Well, let's see. What do you want to jump into next?
Oh, boy. Well, let's see. Let's go jump into tech, huh? We got EU is European Union's getting a little nasty. Yeah, some of this is going to happen. You got tariff battles, all this kinds of stuff, and they're going to find ways to poke at each other. And right now, EU's deciding to crack down on Google and Apple. There's quite a bit to get into on that, and it's not something that's new. They've been
change this real quick. Sorry.
They've been kind of cracking down. I mean, I'm not.
And what we're gonna do for this is have a little fun with it.
Okay.
What I should do is go like this. Tell us about the EU crackdown on Google. Okay.
We do a little Grok versus ChatGPT.
Yeah, we do a little Grok versus. So
that sounds like a good
take
idea.
a look here. We'll send it. We'll get ChatGPT up.
Yeah.
We'll send the same prompt.
Exact same prompt, no changes.
And what we'll do is I'll pull them out.
Put them side by side.
Put it back in. To that side. That one there. Okay.
There we go, side by side.
Let's see. Oh boy, this one is
all right.
much bigger than the other one.
Okay, let's see.
That's what she said.
Actions against Google. Here, you want to talk about?
So let's. So the European Union has intensified its regulatory actions against major tech companies, notably Google and Apple, under the Digital Markets Act (DMA), aiming to foster fair competition and curb monopolistic practices by using communist tactics. Oh, it doesn't say that part, but it should.
It should.
And I'm not a
Apple
humongous fan of either one of those countries.
Yeah,
I mean, countries.
Apple would like the communist stuff, don't it?
You would think, but
right.
They have been the tightest security-wise, to be fair, of anybody.
Yeah, it's because they're using 1996, text.
They do use really old SATA cables. I know that. So actions against Google, so what do we have here? We have very similar. So Google preliminary findings on March 19, 2025, the European Commission issued preliminary findings accusing Google of breaching the DMA in 2 key areas. Mm-hmm. It basically says the same thing here. A landmark piece of legislation in 2022. So this gives us, we can see here, Grok gives us a little bit more information. So we kind of find where when that legislation came into play in 2022.
So
it became enforceable in 2024.
So as far as the Google goes, it looks like what their problems are is Google owns Google, and Google says, hey, if you want to advertise with Google, you have to pay Google to advertise on Google.
And Google, pushes their advertisements
Right.
above people
Search
who
favor.
aren't paying.
Right.
They give favors to their own stuff.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
duh.
I mean,
right?
it sounds like any advertising agency.
Any company.
Maybe it's just a mix of advertising and search. Maybe. I mean, I can kind of understand where they're coming from on that part.
So we have self-preferencing.
Right.
And
Okay.
search favoritism.
Okay.
Google Play restrictions. So restrictions on app. Okay. So they're mixed.
Yeah.
European Commission has changed Google with favoring its own services. Charged Google, with favoring its own services such as Google Flights and search results, potentially giving disadvantage to competitors.
They must have pulled this from the same stories because a lot of it's pretty similar.
Yeah, actions against Apple. So what I have noticed with ChatGPT using both, comparing them, is that ChatGPT gives you a real rundown version, right? And Grok's is a little more. We get a little more information with Grok,
right?
Apple, same thing here, right? We get a little bit more information, even though we have interoperability and App Store policies. We get kind of the same stuff,
right?
But we get a little more info with Grok. It looks like,
right. So, and they
we
both
get
have
historical
value,
context,
right?
With Grok, broader implications, potentially what's going to happen,
right?
We have international implications here,
right? It sounds like with ChatGPT, like it's and they both have uses, right? Like if you want a quick and easy summary, like maybe ChatGPT is the way to go. But if you want to get like deep down inside and actually get all of the information, it sounds like Grok's the way to go. At least on this instance,
This is interesting because we have potential penalties. Google could face up to 10%, and then Apple, 10% of Apple's global. So that's the same here. Potential penalties, 10%. Okay.
Sounds like a tariff by any other name is kind of what it seems like. They
wouldn't call it that because
right.
That's bad apparently. So that's interesting.
Right.
I would say they both did a good job.
Yeah.
I'll give them 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
For both.
Pretty good.
In that respect.
And I like that they gave different info, so maybe still use both.
Yeah. You get a little bit from each.
Yeah.
What I want to try is I pulled something up.
Let's see.
This, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but let's run this real quick and see what happens. Okay, enter first number.
Okay.
2. Oh, the sum of 1 and 2 is 3. Not if you're, only if you're racist. Did you know that? So, yes, that's pretty cool. We're gonna play with this.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do?
See who codes. See if
we're gonna ask both of these to write us a calculator app.
Okay.
In Python, and I'm going to load that app, and we're going to see if it works.
Nice.
Now, generally, I would do this, but I don't have any IDEs on this computer, so I have to use a web-based IDE, which is onlinepython.com. I have never used it before, so hopefully it works.
You are speaking Chinese to me.
Well, usually, I do actually. Do I have Python on here? Maybe I do. No, it says welcome, so I'm doubting that I have Python on here right now. Yeah. I don't have any. No. Okay.
Is this like snakes on a plane?
What?
Python? Is it like snakes on a plane, or no? It's the wrong one.
Wrong one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Are we talking to Boku Python?
Calculator? No.
No. I don't understand what you're talking about. So Python is a coding program
in Python,
or a coding language. Gotcha.
Yes. So it's very popular. I'm gonna write. I need to pull the exact same. What did I say? Write me a Python. I need to make sure I say the same exact thing to Grok.
What about Java? Isn't Java a thing?
What? Yeah, Java's still there.
Okay.
Yeah, Java's still around.
That's the only one I know of.
Oh boy, there's a billion of them.
Really?
But yeah. I mean, I've used mainly C# because I wrote a lot in Monoscript and of course in Visual Studio with the Unity engine. So they use C# and I also use C++. That's just very common for almost everything you see.
Okay.
I mean, there's tons of things, video games, stuff like that, right? Python is used a lot for automation. You can really automate just about anything with Python, and it's relatively easy to do. So let's see if this will run like this. I don't know if it's going to happen. Okay. So.
All right. So can they...
I'm going to pull this over.
Okay.
So we're going to try Python's first.
Okay. So whose code is this?
This is going to be ChatGPT's code.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to run it.
Calculator app.
Okay. Select an operation.
Okay.
Go ahead. What would you like to select, sir?
Let's do multiply. I like to multiply.
Okay.
Giggity.
Enter your first number. What is your first number?
6.
Okay. What's your second number?
6.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty good.
That's it. It works. Yeah.
Okay. That's not too bad.
Let's give it a hard one just to make sure.
Okay.
I mean, it shouldn't matter.
A
Right?
hard one. All right. Sure.
Let's say,
I don't know if they're that advanced yet.
Okay.
Sir.
Let's subtract.
What is subtract 2?
Yep. 15.237. Oh no, then I got to check it.
No, you don't.
No. Okay.
Invalid. Enter numeric values. See, told you you don't have to.
Yeah, all right. There you go. Yeah, I don't want to do math. I've been blacksmith. Cut me a break, folks. I've been forging steel all day. Spent a good 8 hours 15. In the forge. Came here to
enter choice. I'm sorry.
Record an episode.
15 and then 2. We get 13. Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, simple math like that's going to be pretty easy. Let's see.
Oh boy, I can't see you typing that.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well,
no.
Oh boy, it didn't really give me a number.
It didn't. No.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay.
No.
Well, basic calculations seem to work fine.
Yeah.
So let's try. I mean, they should both be able to do this. No problem.
Interesting aside, like was it Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan, and I believe that's where he said it. He said we are 5 years away from people being able to make their own AAA games on AI. Can you believe
Simple
that?
Operations. Okay, enter the first number.
Okay.
25.
Okay.
Enter the operator.
Okay.
Okay.
Plus.
I kind of like this more. Let's multiply. And 4. We should get 100.
Wow.
Calculate
I like
again.
this better. Whoever this is.
Yes.
Whose code was this?
First number. 7. Enter operator. Plus 3. Oh, how nice.
I kind of like this one better. Whose code was this one?
This is Grok's.
What
I don't like better, I don't like that it asks me afterwards.
Yeah.
Just because it lags a little.
I do like that.
But I do like the operator. I like entering the number and then the operation and the number.
And then it lists the whole equation. It doesn't just give you the answer.
Yeah. So I like that. I do like that better. So I'm going to say, let's look here. Let's see what they've done. So define calculator. So we have our calculator. Yeah, this is definitely while true. So we have a true statement. It's just a little different, written a little bit different. So if operator, same thing, right? These are the same, very similar things. Okay.
Man, last time I tried to write
did
code.
It build in? See, look at this. Do you know what this is right here? We have air handling. Grok wins. 100%. I do not see air handling in here.
So it's like
there's no air handling.
Self-correcting.
See, if we have an error, we have error. Please enter valid numbers. If you mess up, an error has occurred. If the program throws an error has occurred, and it's running its own module right here. So Grok wins 100%
with coding.
Yeah,
interesting.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it defined its own class.
You got to explain to people and me what all that means.
It defined its own class here. So basically, this is all inside the calculator.
Okay.
And you can just call calculator. And then when you go calculator, it runs this. Instead of having to, so you could pull this from another program, go calculator, and it would pull the calculator into the program, and all this back end would be in the program. So it's like it's modular coding.
Gotcha.
Whereas this built in a very linear fashion.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight down the line. Right. Whereas this built it and then built it into a container, so you can use the container over and over again with air handling inside that container.
Nice.
Grok, destroyed it. Way better.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there
both
you go.
Good. Both got it done.
If you got
Grok way better with that.
Yeah. So if you got to write a program, well,
it's pretty cool. So I've used it a lot for writing programs.
Like 4 or 5 years away from making your own AAA game.
Sweet. It's awesome. Grok, make me a triple. Okay. Now Grok, make me a AAA game better than Assassin's. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Assassin.
There we go. You got it.
Shadows. What's it say? I'm going to change this to. We're going to drop this over here too. Why not?
I'm an AI, not a game development studio. That's funny.
Ask anything.
Oh, it's giving you better games. It's giving you a list of better games. That's funny. That's hilarious. Look at that. That's awesome.
Okay.
He's giving you a list of games that are better than Assassin's Creed
I'm
Shadows.
not a game studio. I can't develop physical or create shit. I'm working on a concept. Okay. So
that's pretty good.
Here's a detailed pitch.
Yeah.
Title, Echoes of the Forgotten. Wow, what did this do? Game concept. Did the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Title, Shadow Empire, open world RPG. Okay.
Huh?
Set in feudal Japan with a darker mythological twist. That way we don't have to have somebody fake write history in Wikipedia.
Right.
That's awesome. Good job, chat.
That's an inside joke on
for the developers. No,
yeah. Assassin's Creed.
I think we talked about that in the first episode.
Did we?
Yeah,
I think we did.
so.
Okay, we'll go back to the first episode and listen so we don't have to explain it again.
Yeah, basically somebody faked history to, match
and then
a game.
backed up their own history by signing in a different, different login and tried to back their own selves up to make their version of history look true.
Do you want a full game design document? Also in this game design, right? Look at how deep this goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would say both are really good. That's pretty cool. You can get your own game design document out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure out of here too.
You can give my rating?
It's pretty neat. Yeah, rating. I'm going to say right now, Grok an 8, Chat a 7.
Okay, cool.
So far. But,
there you go.
We'll see. We'll keep doing this here and there.
Yeah,
we'll try it out.
Yep.
See how it goes.
Does Elon play his own video games?
Oh, that's a good one too. We got to ask that question.
Yeah.
How do we get new chat out of here? I don't really know how to do that. Right here. Oh, it's the same marker.
Yep.
Does Elon? No, that's not. Dippies. Elon Musk play his. No, I should say level.
Oh, all right.
Level his own characters in
you did better than me.
PoE 2 and Diablo 4.
There we go. Cut and paste. Let's see what it says.
Elon Musk has acknowledged employing account boosting services to advance his characters in both Passive Exile and Diablo 4. In communications with YouTuber Nico Rex, Musk confirmed his practice, stating the talk accounts in Diablo or PoE require multiple people playing the account to win the leveling race. Yes, okay. Elon Musk has admitted same thing.
Okay, it's the same thing on the button. Okay, well, hey, he can,
Yeah.
No,
good job.
No, there's not any crap going on.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, cool.
All right. What else we got?
What else we got? Let's see. That's it for politics and trades. Well,
not a whole lot in the politic area, really.
Yeah,
honestly.
no, there's not really. Let's do trades.
Okay.
I think because there hasn't been really much going on.
Let's jump into trades. Let me pull new chats here in case we end up doing that again.
Yeah, there's some stuff in politics, but nothing too crazy. So, trades. So you found a tool that you thought was interesting.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty cool.
An impact to hex adapter. So that looks pretty cool, man. I've had a few of those, and I break them constantly.
So it's a quick connect. And so let's just say, for instance, you had a 3/4 inch ratchet, and you had a 12-inch extension, and you need to get down to a torque spit in a real skinny area.
Right.
You can use this baby on the end of your extension and put your torque spit on it and go.
Yeah,
this is not the brand. I mean, honestly, I saw the guy that I saw this with was using this brand, and he said it's been good so far, and he was using it on an impact.
Okay.
And said it was good so far.
Nice.
But the quick disconnect, that's awesome because you're not going to drop your bit in the engine bay or wherever you're working, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's fantastic right there. But it seems pretty cool. I don't have them. I did see another set that was wobble.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
That would be
sometimes with wobbles you got to be careful with impact because they'll snap the joints.
Yes, 100%. So it's like you'd really want to get something nice like Snap-on or Matco if they make something similar. If you're going to get a wobble with that,
all right. Well, yeah, that's kind of a cool little device there.
Nice little set.
Because I've that's cool. Yeah, I haven't used these in particular. But I've used the other way, the the drill bits to socket.
Yeah, and that's typically right when I'm tossing on.
Yeah.
You go to 1/4 hex to 3/8.
Right.
And those do. The Milwaukee ones I have, I've never broke one. The Harbor Freight ones I had, I've broke 2 of the 3/8. Didn't break my impact.
Happens.
So who cares? Right? Because they're $1 or something.
A rusty bolt
there.
on a post vise I was trying to take loose, and it snapped, sheared right off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of socket were you using?
6-point. No, a chrome, which probably shouldn't have been using a chrome.
That's why I asked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think 7 out of 10 times
it was a
the answer's
snap-on.
going to be chrome.
Yeah, it was a chrome snap-on. Because if it breaks, I'll get
you get a new one.
Get a new one
Free.
replaced. Yeah.
All better. Except for when they go, were you using an impact with this?
No.
Hopefully the mushroom exploded, so they don't notice the mushroom head.
Well, you got to make sure it looks like it did.
Yeah.
Just put it in the forge. And send them back a puddle of metal.
Dude, what happened? Yeah. Just leave the little Snap-on logo.
The rest
of it, what happened?
Just a puddle of steel.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
so that's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that out. That's cool. Cool looking tool. Definitely has got its uses. I've definitely had to wear that. I can definitely see where that tool has been, could have been helpful to me in the past.
Yeah. Maybe just certain applications, right? But it looks like it could be something that's just quite useful.
Right.
Let's go. So,
and then last week we talked about toolboxes. You were looking to get a new toolbox. Yes. You had a bunch you were kind of looking at. We talked about positives and negatives, and you finally made a decision on what you're going to do.
I did, yeah. So unless something pops up on Facebook Marketplace that I cannot resist, that's say under $2,000.
The hot deal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, something pops up nice, then which is probably not going to happen. Then we looked at the icons. We were really impressed by them, honestly.
Yeah.
I've looked all over the place, right? I've looked at the tool vaults. I've looked at the extreme tools. Those are a little higher quality, but I wasn't impressed with the drawer depth. So it's like 1.5 inches on the small drawers, and 2 inches is like pretty standard.
Right.
So like if you have a lot of pliers, which I do,
it's 1.5 inches. Like if you've got,
you can't stand pliers up.
You can't stand pliers up. You can't.
And even wrenches. Some wrenches.
Like sockets. If you got a socket tray and a socket,
of course.
There's no way.
Yeah, that's what that, of course, that 5-inch drawer or whatever that is on top, right? So what I've kind of decided to do.
I've got some I don't even know if my pry bars would fit in an 1.5 inch drawer. Like
I know. The handle.
I know.
That's what I mean. That's why I was looking. I'm like,
that's too thin. Yeah.
Just a little bit. Have a little more play in them.
I've got one small drawer like that on my toolbox, but just one. But that's like for papers and pens and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, and the icons we looked at, they're super nice, but they're $2,500.
Right.
And they're 25 inches wide, which for my application, I'll be using it in a third bay in a garage.
Right.
I really need something that's a little shallower, so I'm not constantly smacking my ass on it and working on something.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at now is I'm thinking of doing this when these go on sale, of course, right?
Yep.
So when I can get a 25% off sale,
plus $8.99 plus 25% off.
Yep.
I mean, geez.
Get this baby right here. We have this a 56-inch box, just in case you're listening.
All right.
If we look at specs, it's a little under 400 pounds. It's over 400 pounds ship weight because of the pallet, but
right.
8 drawer. We have 22 inches deep. That's fine. That's pretty standard. 4,400 pounds, man.
That's it.
That's
all you need.
That's epic. I mean, you can't really beat that.
The only thing, like it says it has ball bearings, but not all ball.
23,500 cubic feet.
For you, that's going to be perfect.
And 120 pound per pair drawer slides. So 200 and what is that? So 250 pound drawers.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the thing is yes, right. It can handle the weight. However, I will caution you to maybe check it out first.
100%.
Not all ball bearings are created equal.
Of course.
Not all ball bearing slides
what is
are created
cool
equal.
Is you can change the slides out if you really wanted to.
That's true.
There's just 2 rivets.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But damn, man, I don't want to deal with that.
Well, if I want new drawer slides, you might have to deal with it.
Oh, chair, sorry.
But anyway, so unless, honestly, if I did get, if a deal popped, a big deal, I don't know, if that would be happening.
30% off. That's pretty. It's there right now.
But these, what I hate compressors. Oh, because it's right there. The icons. This is what I would get if there was a, if I can get a good deal on it. But they're $2,500, and these are have upgraded slides. These are beautiful.
Yeah, but
I don't need it.
No, you don't need it. And you can beat the snot out of that thing and not feel guilty about it.
And what's great is if I did this, that'd probably fit my tools now.
Right.
I can bolt one of these right up to it. I mean, these are $5.99. Imagine 25% off that, right?
Right.
And these go on sale for $4.99 a lot.
Yeah.
The casters are smaller, so there's that difference. But you can order these casters and they fit right on.
Nice.
So that way they're the same height, right? And then I'd probably just have to.
Don't get black though; you're gonna hate it.
I could even do. Gosh, I like that though.
Yeah, I know you'll. No.
Oh boy. Just kidding. I mean, well, maybe not.
It's 2025, man.
Yeah, it's acceptable now. Finally. And then I could toss one of these babies on top. So could you imagine that, right?
Yeah.
If I had a 42-inch box, a top box on it, and then a 56 next to it.
Oh, yeah, that's plenty.
So I can use the top here. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Plenty of room.
Probably forever. And then, if you really want a locker or something, you can, they make these, whatever, in the little side. I would just get metal cabinets. I don't need a locker that locks, and nobody's going to be, if they're coming to steal my stuff, they've broken into my house and they're going to get shot.
That's where you put the speakers, boombox.
Or the hutch.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool if you're in a shop, but why would you? I don't know.
No, it's a boombox. You open up the sides, side cabinets.
They have the whole thing with speakers?
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude, that'd be dope. Just blow everybody right out of the house. So, that's what I'm looking at right there. Seems pretty cool.
Looks good, man.
Looks fun.
Cool. We'll have to, once you get one, and we'll get it all burked in, we'll take a look. And now,
I might end up with a lockless snap-on. That's possible. There's one on Facebook, but it's missing a lock. I'm a little scared.
Yeah. Wonder where
he's
that
like,
came
it's
from.
full. Come grab it.
Wonder whose house that came from.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Ask no questions you don't want answers to.
That's 100% true. And I had one more thing I wanted to show the blacksmith here because he was a tech for years.
Yeah.
And, we both love cars and combustion engines are cool.
Yeah.
Electric motors are cool too, but they're not as cool as combustion engines, in my opinion. They don't blow up as hard.
Yeah.
Maybe they do.
Right.
There's the batteries. The batteries blow up as hard.
Yeah.
So
more sparks, less flame.
That's true. Yeah. It's not as cool when it blows up. So this dude right here is I Do Cars.
Okay.
I think his name's Eric. He's got a ton of videos on teardowns. You can see all the engines in the back. Okay. He tears down everything, dude. If you've ever seen an engine, you want to see it torn down, this dude does it. He's
probably done it, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So 2020 Silverado 1500.
Yeah.
3.0 Duramax.
Called it's the Baby Max.
Okay.
Right? The little guy.
Yeah, little diesel.
This is the guy that uses a rubber oil pump belt that you have to pull the transmission and torque convert, obviously, but you have to pull the transmission and the transfer case to get to, and you have to replace it at 140, and there's an inspection point at 70.
I hate new cars.
And by the way, the thing's full of chains, and they just used it on this one pulley, and or this one gear, and
where it should have been a chain.
It should have been a chain, and you'd never have to worry about it ever. So anyway, it's built in to fall apart, of course, because it might last a while.
Right.
Although not with all the EGR crap and stuff that's on these diesels now. It's basically, they last as long as a gas engine if you're lucky.
Right, honestly. If you're lucky. Yeah.
Unless you delete it all.
Right. So where do we need to go in the video? We'll see what's happening.
So let's take a look here.
Yeah.
So
if it would go back
he's breaking stuff down, right?
Yeah, breaking stuff.
Will you just
relax. Breaking apart.
He's pulling out the fuel system right now, right? Yeah. And it's seized, so he cannot get it moving.
Okay, it's seized.
Something's wrong
solid.
with this engine.
So
the next part I'm going to remove.
Okay.
Yes.
So these are
Yep.
well, that's Pretty nice. So
Camshaft.
these are a straight 6, by the way.
They don't look dirty.
No, it's super clean, actually, huh? It's only got like 47,000 on it.
Oh, okay. It says 45. So 45. 45,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty clean still. I don't, you know.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
Improbable to do. So
Yeah. Good luck getting
what
the timing cover off without getting off the torque converter and the flywheel.
Pull the trans to get. Oh, geez, look at that. Nightmare.
is we're going to get
Here's your
this
inspection hole.
unbolted. We'll get the injection pump off.
Okay.
We'll unbolt what we can
Tensioners.
here.
Tensioners,
Get
yeah.
the cams out, and I think we can get the
So
where's the
look at that
failure?
beautiful chain.
Yeah, it looks good. Why?
Okay.
I can't tell you why this engine sees looking at it offhand.
it's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So look at him trying to get this thing to turn. I don't see
It
any
ain't looking so hot.
beautiful holes in the side of
it's
the
still
Grok or anything.
solid. It's not. No.
But he cannot get that thing to turn over.
I'm going to go with no. It is in fact still locked up.
So if you're listening, he's got a pry bar on the
Okay.
flywheel, and he's like putting everything he can into it, trying to turn
both
this engine,
ways.
and it is solid.
It will not move.
The whole engine stands wobbling all over the place. He's trying to pry on this thing. So.
Right, which gives us a clue right when we look at it because the torque converter's still on it and the flywheel, which means they couldn't turn the engine to get the bolts out.
Right.
Because they come out from a spot in the back.
Right.
So you've got to spin your torque converter, take a bolt, spin, take a bolt, spin to get it out. So it's kind of funny because
it's still attached.
free torque converter.
All right.
So
Man,
let's
what's
see.
in this thing?
On to the cams.
I'm curious.
So let's pull the cams.
Okay.
Well, the
Look at the
journals,
journals real
look
quick.
pretty
The
good.
journals look good. I mean, a little
I
bit
don't
of wear,
see
but not
any
bad.
major
Pretty clean,
damage
right?
on this side.
And look at the lifters and everything.
Lifters are
Look
nice.
good.
I don't
A
see
little
any-
bit of scratches.
little,
It's
but, you know,
really
it's
not
pretty
terrible.
sitting.
I mean, it's normal wear for
We've definitely seen
45,000.
way worse on this channel.
And the
Yeah.
oil's not milkshake, so
No,
Didn't
yeah.
go
That's the
head
worst
gasket.
one right there. And
So-
the cams don't look too bad either.
A little bit of wear. It's more
Yeah,
than I'd
pretty
like to
clean.
see.
Absolutely
If
serviceable.
that, you know, I don't like the
Nothing
the
jumping
lines,
out at
wear
there's a
you.
little
lines
bit of
and-
wear line on there. It's like
yeah.
uneven a little.
No, I don't like that. But you know, new cars are junk. So what do you want?
But some of these cam caps have a little
Oh, yeah,
bit of
some wear.
damage.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's
That
not
one
good.
in particular.
So some metal is rolling around on the motor. Then
Yeah.
some type of.
Ooh.
And that happens
that's
from
bad.
Yeah.
Those- yeah.
dirty oil,
yeah,
metal
not
in
that
the
bad.
oil,
Yeah,
hard
see.
material in the oil that's not supposed to be
No,
there,
Right.
or if it runs dry.
Yeah, it's possible.
The
Usually,
first signs of
so
damages
positive.
I've seen
So,
inside this engine.
A lot of times you would have. Well, are those aluminum?
No.
No, it's got to be
No,
steel.
steel caps.
So if
Ignore
it,
the
the
fact
thing
that-
he mentioned, if it runs dry,
He's got steel cam on bearing.
right.
Right.
So you would usually see hot spots in,
Yeah, they would seize
in the
up. Yeah,
steel.
they'd start taking that coating off.
No, not just that, but the steel itself gets hot, and you will actually see hot spots in the steel. It'll
Yeah.
have color, and that's not here.
Yeah,
at
it
all.
starts to cook itself too.
Right, yeah.
It welds
Right. Well,
over time.
yeah, well, if it gets
Pretty
hot enough.
quickly.
But usually you'll see, like, a lot of times we used to see, like, motorhomes or something, if they're over, if they get over temp, the trans and stuff like that, and the steel can actually change colors.
Oh yeah, yeah,
inside,
and I've seen that on some of his teardowns
no,
where you get a seized
rainbow
bearing.
colors on the steel.
You get a seized
That's
bearing,
an-
you pull it apart, and the whole crank's rainbow.
That's an oxide that develops on the surface of the steel. So we use it a lot in blacksmithing when we're tempering tools and stuff. So if you see gold, brown, usually you're in that range of the 450, 500 degrees. And then if you're getting in the purples and blues, you're getting upwards of 850
The pretty
degrees.
ones.
Yeah, the pretty ones.
Pretty colors.
Pretty
Hot.
ones are around 850. And then, if you see those colors, you're no, it's not.
You're
So
roasting.
usually you'd see some of those colors
Yeah, scorch marks
showing
of
up
some
scorch
sort.
marks. Yeah, and I don't see those here. So it's not from overheating. It's not from, not overheating. It's not from lack of lubrication, I would say.
It still
I would
has a
say
torque
it's from
converter on
foreign
it.
debris. Let's see if I'm right.
And this cam still looks pretty good.
So it's
It's
the
okay.
exhaust cam or intake cam. One of
Yeah.
the two I didn't catch. What
That
the other
doesn't
one
look
was.
good.
No, that looks not great. Right, the
Yeah.
same right there too,
Yeah.
and there.
No.
A little bit of wear and damage right there.
Yeah, right. I can see it.
I think
That
it's
one
still
doesn't-
usable.
Yeah, that looks good. That
One
one's not
design
good.
feature of this engine that I do really like
Oh, cam
is it
carriers.
uses this removable cam
That's cool.
plate or carrier. I don't know what GM calls it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I
bas-
seen one on an Audi, and it's like self-enclosed. The cam system is actually underneath it, so when you
So you
unbolt
can
the
pull-
carrier, the whole thing comes
You can
off.
pull it out
Yeah.
as a unit. Oh, that's nice.
Super cool for servicing the head without having
Right.
to,
Have to pull
do
the
more.
cams, and it'll let you just
Yeah.
pull a whole cam unit.
Yeah,
it's like
pretty
a
cool.
pre-head almost.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
Basically, if it trashes cams.
So let's see. Let's get a little
pretty
further.
tight.
So looks like what are we doing here? We're going to be pulling the head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
That's tight.
The brakes are on my stand. Let's get the big bar. Nope. Better to pull towards you.
If he's pulling it off and it's a junk engine, he should just use an impact. I mean, really.
Well, I think he salvages
trained?
the
Oh,
bolts and stuff sometimes. And the
Well,
heads.
you can't
So he
reuse
might be
the
able to
bolts.
salvage it. Oh, I mean the head. When I
We're
say
gonna
that,
rotate
he
this a little
salvages the head,
further.
so I think that's
So we
fine.
get some more
That makes
leverage.
sense.
Hopefully no rockers go flying. What's the worst that could happen? Don't answer that.
Right. There we go. Dude, that's not a good sound. Why? What do they torque those things to?
A billion.
Oh, God. That's horrible noise. Sorry. Oh,
Yeah, that's gnarly. It's just so much
I don't know how
tensile
that
strength
sounds to
there.
you. That sounds horrible in my headphones.
Kind of like it.
It makes my teeth. Just,
So
It
violent.
sounds like my shoulders.
Hopefully this little guy can finish the job.
there we go. Now we got the
Stop
impact.
hissing at me.
Oh, come on now.
Look at those
For you
head
that
bolts.
care,
Yeah.
I just leasing.
I still don't
Look at
see
them
anything.
big
Look at those
things.
Yeah, those are
Freaking
monsters.
monsters,
Gigantic.
dude.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Diesels.
diesels, anything
Is this a
like
diesel or
built
something?
ridiculous, right? Yeah. Come on, let's see. Man. Huh.
Yeah,
He's
just
pulling
waiting for him to
he's
pull
pulling
ahead.
out all the head bolts. Yeah,
For
there's a
you that
bunch of them.
care, I just weighed the head bolts. This had 8 pounds worth of head bolts. Wow. It's crazy. Crazy.
There's 20 head bolts. Something
Hopefully
like
this just lifts right up.
So there's
14.
14 head bolts.
Hey, that came right off. No problem.
Okay, well, there's rust in
Oh,
there. But
I
if
see
it's
some
that
bad
close-
stuff.
some
Yep.
rust in there.
All right, well,
What does he see? I don't see. Two of
Let's,
them look pretty dark. Two of the
see if we can remove this
pistons
head
look pretty
gasket.
dark. Two of them have some rust in
you
them, but
guys
that's
see anything
not.
in this area? You know what? I'll leave the head gasket
There's
on
a
and show you.
little.
So this cylinder is just
Oh, that one's nice and
beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
clean. Something got
It's
in there.
not terrible.
Made that look
Little
pretty.
burn mark. It's better
not
than this
great.
one.
Look at it.
Oh, what is
So this one got a little on the
in
warm
there?
side.
Look at it. It's
Piston is
melted.
very melty.
Yeah.
You can see the fused
Oh, and it
aluminum
came
to the
apart?
cylinder
Look at
wall.
It's fused to the
then-
cylinder wall.
So
You
when that
notice-
happens, that creates
Look
an
at
This
that
alloy.
neighbor is so much worse.
Look at that one.
It
So what happens is when the steel heats up, the aluminum ions can actually migrate to the steel, and we have sometimes when we're doing stuff like that with Blacksmith and stuff like that, you got to be careful that you can ruin alloys and stuff if you get them too hot in the presence of aluminum, and it can change the alloy composition of the steel. So that's probably what happened in this case.
It's pretty gnarly.
You know,
To put
That's
a hole in a
hot.
bore.
that's hot.
torched a hole through the bore. That is incredible.
piston had to come
the amount of
apart.
temperature it takes.
Yeah,
You know how
look
many
at-
degrees were in
and
here?
then now we have a blown head
There
gasket,
must
of
not
course.
been any
obvious,
room
what I mean.
left.
Come on.
All right.
I mean, look at how
That's
melted
so
that
gnarly.
piston is.
How did they
And of
even
course,
get
it
it that
breached
hot?
the head gasket.
Well, of course. Right.
You can
Now
see
we have to think here that when he's explaining in the beginning, he talks about engine warranties, right? And
Right.
this is not a warranted engine. So this engine was refused warranty by GM. GM would not warranty this engine.
Huh.
So
They
we
don't say
know
why.
that it's something out of the norm that caused this. So either a
Right.
performance issue or,
Sorry.
but we'll
It
see
was-
maybe.
between there. Now this one is rusted up, and I suspect that's
So let's
the
see him
reason.
get to the bottom end.
And that's
maybe.
the reason.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, rust of the cylinder isn't
He did a thing or
uncommon.
three.
right, for sure,
You can
especially the head
definitely
gasket.
tell
leak.
where the
Right.
line of evaporate the way. Right, here we are, 24 some odd.
So, he's just cleaning up those
thing apart.
rusty
Did not
ones.
put any there. It's gonna be
They
fine.
look okay.
We can power through that stuff.
They're not melted.
See if we can break her free.
Come on. Come on.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Well, maybe not.
Okay.
Not a lot.
So you have to drop the pan there and get in there. That's
Oh,
those are always a
there's
pretty
lots of
color for your oil.
sparkles.
Yeah, it's not good.
Glitter.
I
And
could
there's
tell
stuff
you that.
missing. Why? What could you possibly use that? Oh, that's not good.
What is this?
So this is normally where the oil pump sits,
Okay.
and it is in fact not present. And I think
So
what they
somebody
did,
grabbed it.
They tore it down in the dealership and
they
didn't put
tried
it
to
back
take
together.
this pan off, but they couldn't get this off because the belt The oil pump belt runs in this location right here.
No.
And that's probably what's keeping the pan on if I were to guess.
My
Lots
guess would
of
be
anti-seize.
Oh yeah. My guess is this is probably a teardown at a dealer.
Slight efforts.
Yeah, they probably checked it when they came in to warranty it, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
like pulled
Tore
the pan and
the
like,
motor down.
"Oh,
It's like, nope. Sorry.
let's look
Slap
at
it
the
back
pump."
together. Yep. Saw all the chunks of metal in there.
Without damaging anything, which I don't know how that's going to be. Yep, it looks like the belt is going to be.
So he's pulling the pan,
Don't make me cut both
the
sides.
lower pan.
Yeah.
He cut the belt, by the way,
Ugh.
so he didn't have to because he can't get the torque
There's-
converter
So
off.
ridiculous. Maybe that's why
There's
it's a
where
belt.
There's the pulley.
Because if that's a chain
And
and you
here's our
can't get
first
that
look
off.
inside the crankcase
That's
of this
true.
thing. The good news is I don't see anything that's discolored like it
Yeah, it looks
spun a
pretty good,
bearing
man.
or ate a bearing or something. All this stuff looks pretty reasonable. But
sure
when
the
I was
bearings
looking
are
at the
trash.
belt, which I cut,
Yeah, I mean,
here's where I cut the belt. It also has this
Oh.
right here. That's not good. Now, I don't know what they did to try to get this pan off before. Obviously,
Right.
they were prying on it. You can see there's some pry marks right here.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, some of the places that it sounds rather dry.
All right.
Ours
I wonder-
need to pull.
I guess
I'm
they
just going to
could've-
crack them all loose.
So we'll let him pull these and take a look at the journals.
Oh, it's not there.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm sure he'll probably pull the. He's gonna pull the. I wonder.
I don't know.
Well, he's gonna pull the pistons here.
I still don't see like the root
Well, this
for
one already
failure.
fell up in
I
the
mean,
bore.
excessive
Sounds like
heat, but
Oh, wow.
they run out of coolant.
These
or
are
something?
spectacular.
I
I
don't
think
know.
this
I
is
don't
our
see-
offending unit right here. You would think, I would think,
Still
maybe
can't
not
turn
you,
it.
but I would think that I could turn it over right now. But
Not if the thing's
can't.
wedged in there. Yeah.
these two pistons right here,
Yeah, they're wedged.
we're going to hammer on the hammer. We moved it like at least a millimeter. I'm like waiting to be able to grab the torque
least a
converter
millimeter.
and rotate, but
Yeah, no.
I think I'm going to be waiting for a while.
Yeah.
At this point, the crank has
Yeah,
no
no,
reason not to
it's
turn over
solid.
unless there's
Huh.
bearing damage. Right?
Well, it's possible.
Oh, I moved it. It moved.
No, that was the whole engine moving.
It moved.
No.
That's a success.
No. That crank was not moving. The whole engine was moving on the stand. You're crazy. That was the engine moving.
And short-lived one at that.
Yeah, no, I did.
No,
It was,
it's
it
because of
was
that
just
one
wishful
right
thinking.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we can knock out. I think we can get
All right, let's zoom ahead and see if we can find.
to get that out and
So he's got
that
two
out.
pistons out. Looks
Yeah.
like.
Have the monitor or your phone.
Huh. Yeah, just pull the crank.
I guess
man.
it's time for a new air impact.
It's so gnarly, dude.
Yeah. Just pull the crank.
These are 2 bolts, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising, right?
Now
That's pretty
I need to
cool.
see if I can
I
get
know,
the torque
but
converter
like
off.
the 5.3 is a 4-bolt mains.
Why is it still
Well, I guess
unfavorably stuck? This
Yeah,
engine's
for a
pretty
diesel, it
screwed
probably
up.
doesn't matter, actually.
Yeah, it's moving now.
Hey, he's moving it.
All right, I think I
Oh,
can
yeah,
get it out
bolted the
now.
crank. So now there's,
Yes,
it's not ready.
this is going to be a lengthy process.
Yeah, just pull. Yeah, so I told him just pull the crank, man. I mean, stop fighting it.
Leave that there.
And I mean, it sucks because you're gonna have to, but you
stay
got to
there.
rebuild it anyway. At this
Torque
point.
converter
Oh,
is
yeah,
off.
100%.
Next, we can remove the flex plate. Oh, now I can start
Back
to tear this
panel.
apart. I do have to take
It's our
this
timing gears.
Yeah.
bolt number 1
The crank.
Oop.
and bolt number 2.
Oh my gosh. Hey, yeah, it's a Harbor Freight engine stand right there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that's a Daytona. So it's holding that baby with 2 bolts.
Interesting. Huh. Huh.
That's the kind of I want to see is when he gets into
Oh,
that.
there we go. Come on, we gotta see these pistons.
Yep.
You got the pistons
So I'll
up.
show you the entirety of the crank in a minute, but
All
we
right,
still
let's see.
have a bearing
Okay.
shell set that won't come off.
Okay.
This here is probably,
Oh, hey.
maybe
Yeah.
the
You got
reason. Probably, maybe. Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's those
not
colors
good.
you're talking about.
Well,
Little
let's
color.
start off with the rod
Little hot
bearings.
spot there.
yeah.
They don't look too terrible, but the upper shell
Yeah.
Wow.
definitely has quite a bit of wear, especially for
Right.
such low miles.
Right. They didn't fail though.
Now, that could be because of what happened to this engine. Oops, these are flipped.
They didn't fail though,
now
but
I can
they're definitely not
And
good.
now for the fun, the rods and pistons. So the rods, they're all pretty decent.
Do you have a ring come
Nothing's
apart?
bent,
Yeah.
nothing's destroyed. The rods are in pretty good shape.
Rods look
But
good.
the pistons, well, this one, it looks
nice.
excellent.
Yeah, looks good.
Very little skirt wear.
Yeah, a little bit, not bad.
I'd say that passes the test.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then that's melted.
Yeah.
That's gnarly,
really
dude.
melted.
I mean,
Wow.
I tried to clean this up, but it's just char.
I've never seen that before. So
Lots of skirt wear. That's
On any
probably
video.
from all the melted
diesels
aluminum.
are crazy.
yeah.
That's pretty bad.
It's like a
Yeah,
mushroom.
But it is nothing compared to this.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
Oh.
Torched right through all the rings.
They had to put some type of additive or something
And what I
don't-
would suspect is that the material from this piston
you know.
is what caused the damage
Yeah, absolutely.
to the
for sure.
main
But how
bearing
did
shell
that
that
fail
was
though?
just pried off the crankshaft.
Something.
This thing is
It just
ate
blew
up
through the side.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
There's gotta be.
Is he gonna show that? He shows.
This
the,
is definitely one of the worst looking non-shattered pistons we've seen
Yeah. That's
in
about. That's
quite some
that's a
time. In
hair
fact,
away
maybe
from-
ever.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've ever seen one.
We're gonna
That's
see if
just
he.
a hair. Ooh.
Oh, hey, there's some good
That's no
stuff.
bueno.
No.
Now
that's
it's
bad.
time for the boring
Let me
That's
see
the
the
machine
part.
shop.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
The boring
Sorry,
part.
sorry.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't look great. This one's got some pretty
It's not
significant
bad.
Yeah.
rust
It's not horrible.
stains.
Some vertical lines, but
Its neighbor, however,
Yeah.
It's
Pretty bad.
worse and
Pretty bad
yucky.
ring. Yeah. Pretty
it doesn't
bad
get better from here.
ring.
It gets worse.
Ooh.
yuck.
Because this was one that had a melted
Yeah.
piston.
Oh yeah, it's freaking got aluminum stuck to it.
Yeah.
But this isn't even the bad one. This
Re-sleeve.
is the bad
Oh, I
one.
got a
hole
hole
in
in
the
it.
bore.
Oh yeah. That's done.
That is torched all the
That's
way
crazy.
through the
It's got to be
bore.
aluminum contamination.
Look at all
in
that
the-
aluminum that's been transplanted.
in the cylinder sleeve. maybe.
This block,
I don't know.
this is scrap material.
Or not
Unless somebody wants to
contamination.
make
You
something
know what I
out
mean
of
when I
it.
say contamination.
You're
It's
right,
not,
yeah.
you know, it's not contamination, but
I just
it's
can't see someone going through all the effort to fix this.
no.
So basically,
The only way to fix that would be to re-cylinder if
Yeah,
it's even a
yeah,
cylinder
you'd have to
sleeve it.
re-sleeve it, and
Yeah.
then who
If
knows?
it's even possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So ultimately, at the end of the video, he does tell you what happened.
Okay.
What is your guess, if you have one? I had no. I couldn't figure it out when I
Either
first watched it. I'm
my
like,
initial guess is one of two
I
things.
thought of an additive. I'm like, okay, they added some kind of
Right.
fuel additive, or there was a performance additive of some sort
something
added.
right that made it burn hotter.
Yeah.
Or the wrong fuel, something of that nature. Something liquid went in the combustion chamber that wasn't supposed to.
Gasoline.
Be. It was. Yep. No, I
Gasoline.
called it. Yeah.
And that's why GM wouldn't warranty it. They're like,
Oh, gotcha.
you put gas in it.
All right.
And that's bad.
It still run.
It looked like it for at least a little
man,
bit.
I tell you what, those old diesels. If you don't know, those old diesels will run on anything that's flammable.
Right.
I
Gas a
mean,
little too flammable, by the way.
Yeah, well, gas a little too. Well, that's why it blew a hole in the piston. But man, those old diesels, you run them on cooking oil, kerosene.
Yeah.
It won't run well, but it'll get you down.
It'll get you down the road.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's pretty
nuts.
interesting. So yeah, I haven't seen a diesel that's run on gas yet. So there's the first one. That's pretty good.
Man,
Okay.
that's tough.
Yeah. The Audi that he did was I think it had 17,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Blue head gasket.
Wow. And they didn't.
They didn't warranty it.
Wow.
$30,000 for new engine. They didn't
No
warranty
thanks.
it. And it was when he checked the he didn't even use a feelers or anything. He just dropped a straight edge over the top, and you could see light, like
Oh.
this much light coming through two of the
It's weird
cylinders.
why they anyway, I'm sure there was a reason.
There had to be, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what he was talking about. It could have been an accident where the vehicle was stolen and taken, and they won't warranty that.
Oh, right.
And, who knows what happened
That
to
no
it.
oil change.
Or if
remember-
you're running with 17,000 miles and you haven't done an oil change yet, that happens.
No,
Yeah.
one of the worst ones I ever seen was a lady had a brand new Navigator at the time, Lincoln Navigator. She had 23,000 miles on the truck. It never had a factory oil filter on the thing. Thing was like 3 quarts low oil, and what did came out as jelly. It came out in clumps. It was gross, and the engine was still running.
I mean, and that's crazy, right? There's a guy I was just watching earlier that I was going to try to show you that oil pan. I was looking for videos earlier.
Yeah.
That's great right here. I should move that over.
Yeah.
Is your riding lawnmower
It's the best
kinda
upgrade to your riding
boring?
lawnmower.
You want to cut your
Hey, I've
There's
got
a
that
Cub Cadet.
lawnmower.
I know. So you could do this, dude.
That's my lawnmower.
Yeah. It bolts right up, bro. It's a GMC Denali. You have a Denali lawnmower.
I would so do it.
Did not check the lawnmower.
See the end result here.
I ended up putting another washer on there just to make it a little more better.
That's hilarious.
A little more
We
better.
only have one step left. You gotta be safe.
Hook up the airbag.
Look at that.
That's
Dude, I would
killer.
so hook up a horn too.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
man, that'd be
Well,
great.
this is pretty nice.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah, that's
funny.
dope. Huh? Yeah, that guy's pretty funny,
awesome.
man. I was trying to find, but I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So I like I said, that's the first time I've ever seen
A diesel.
that.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Chat music.
Yeah, here's a 900,000 mile, 6.7 liter
Huh.
Power Stroke right there.
Wow. I believe it.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
gnarly.
believe it.
Here are my shorts.
All
There
right.
it is.
So
Is
that's
this going to be easy?
This was
Why
we
do
were
you
talking
think
about
this
oil
motor
changes,
went
right?
down? Holy moly.
That's a Baby Max right there,
Folks.
3.0.
This is
Duramax.
not changing your oil enough. If the manufacturer tells
That's
you 15,
disgusting.
half that. If the manufacturer tells you 10, half that. I think I'd be out of business if people just follow that simple advice. I'd
Oh,
quit
yeah.
building motors. Or at least half of them that I do.
3,000
This
miles.
kind of stuff doesn't
3,000
need to
miles
happen.
every time.
I just wanted to show you that whenever you pull a valve cover off and you
Yeah.
see that kind of sludge and build up on the rockers and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you're just, good grief, man. You're not changing your oil enough.
Yeah. Nobody ever sees the rockers. They don't know. Most people don't even know if they have a dipstick.
Yeah, look at your oil.
Oh.
What viscosity is that?
Yeah, that's like 90 weight. Maybe more.
I really don't know what to say.
That's a dude in Washington.
Yeah, you know. Oh, is
So,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to say anything, man.
Yeah,
I understand.
It's just sad.
I feel your pain.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
Well,
that was
that's
pretty
it.
fun, huh?
That was pretty fun.
videos.
Yeah, everybody, anybody who
change
likes
your oil?
cars. Yeah. If you change your oil, tell us in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind do you use? 90 weight?
Silly putty, Jello. Yeah. No, man, that's crazy. That was a good one. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no worries.
You know.
That's fun.
Yep, yeah. So last but not least, today
We have
got
2 new chat
Yeah.
chat music videos
That's
they've
it.
launched. So last week for everybody, we did Bro can see in 360,
360,
and her pronouns are pounds and kilograms.
yeah.
Now, for everybody who doesn't know, we've done part 1, 2, and 3
3.
of Snow White.
Oh,
This is part 4 after it's launched and got a.
Oh boy, it
let's-
still can't be funny, can it?
I mean, it right. It can't be
Part
right.
4. Nothing part 4 is still funny, including Shrek.
Including Shrek, correct. I wanted to see the it's down from a 1.8 folks to a 1.5 out of 10. It's the
Okay.
lowest score I've ever seen on IMDb.
That's pretty awesome. Hey, it's number 2 though. Look at popularity.
Hey, it's popular. Disney's paying for that popularity. Good job, guys. At this point, you'd think they'd want less people to see it.
Right. Oh,
Okay,
boy.
so we'll get her started.
Lord Fourquad herself.
That's right. Oh, bow.
All right.
I showed this trailer to my therapist, now he's in therapy. Snow White, hello, anybody here, projector operator, just me.
Okay.
Snow White and the $7 total box office income. Movie janitors are getting a day off with this one.
Easy day for him.
I threaten my kids with this trailer when they miss me. Rachel Fodler, this is the perfect movie to watch on a plane.
Sleep time.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, God.
Oh boy. Right. No. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Not bad.
That was
not
pretty
bad.
good.
Not as hilarious as the last couple, but they had some good ones.
Still
in
pretty
there.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the newest.
Oh boy,
This is the
bro
newest.
got nerfed twice, huh? Oh,
Okay.
boy,
Oh,
I don't know if I want to do this.
Well, I have to, so
Sorry.
we can cut it maybe. You never know.
Yeah,
He
maybe.
feels bad inside.
Yeah,
I don't
still
care.
have something here.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I do too, just not when I watch chat music.
Nice moves, we take up.
Oh, damn it.
Gosh, no.
I didn't know they come in color options to dogs and crows.
Dog.
Locked in a
God.
chrome, but the chrome never lock in. Is this KSI? Percent to Sean, got nerfed twice. Oh, me. Down from the streets. Took stay down a little too seriously. As a shiny Pokemon, he said, "Grip and drown." Bigger 47 cents, at least the moves ain't down. James got the wrong DLC. Down. Finally, I saw a black version before I died. A short, money, tall, life on hard balls. Be the newest models, that's the leader of suppose.
Yeah,
Dude.
that one was a little rough.
Oh, that one was hard.
That's what she said.
That is what not what she said.
No. I'm not sure that's a she.
That's
That might be a
True.
Jabba.
it's yes. You're right.
Gorlock.
I might have to call Anakin.
Gorlock the Destroyer.
Grimlock. Yeah, Grimlock.
Yeah. Yeah. First one was funny.
Yeah, first one was funny.
So if
Second
you
one
hear us
is
talking about this, we
not
just
good.
cut the second one.
So the second one makes you go to bad places.
Yeah, it's not so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
well, that was it for the week, I think.
Yeah, that's it for this week.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks. Hope you enjoyed the ChatGPT versus Grok. If you have anything you'd like us to compare
We'd like
with ChatGPT versus Grok, let us
Battle
know.
Dome.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see who's woker.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate you getting to the end of the video. If you do, check us out. Facebook, Instagram, X, all of those places. We appreciate it. You can check the channel out, see some of the previous episodes. And, if you can't sit here and watch the whole thing, we understand that. It's a long thing. We chop it up in chunks and release it in pieces during the week. So if you'd like to check us out there. And, some people don't like cars. Some people don't like politics. Hey, that's why we chop it up.
Some don't like music.
Some don't like, I don't
Sad.
know. Those people are dead
Yeah.
inside. Yeah. So if there's stuff you like, stuff you don't like, let us know in the comments, right? We're just trying to figure this out, and we're just kind of talking about stuff we like. So if you have something you'd like us to talk about, please put it in the comments below. Send us an email at theblacksmith@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you ever want to jump on the show, let us know.
Yeah.
That'd be
good.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Be a good one.
Cool.
Very cool.
All right.
Well, thank you guys.
Yep.
See you
Later.
next week.